everyone. Today I'm going to introduce some cases related to business and law. Contents. I will begin by asking a question to you and will give my own answer. Next, I'll move on to introduce two legal cases. One is a conflict between two companies with the same name. The other is a conflict between two bakeries also with the same name. Lastly, I'll give you my conclusion about this topic. Alright, let's start with this question. Please imagine the situation. You registered the name of your store and have run, and someone opened a store with a name which is similar with yours at the next avenue. So people started to get confused between them. How would you respond to this situation? My answer is this: Almighty is the dollar, which means basically that even though the rich break a law, the poor will be punished. You will see the reason why I chose this answer in this presentation. Case number 1. A corporation named Sajuk Semiconductor founded a subsidiary company Powercom in 1995. After that, Korean Electronic Power Corporation also made a subsidiary company to provide broadband service. After Powercom became famous, people started to be confused as to which one was which. People even kept calling Powercom to ask about the service offered by Powercom. Over time, it had been interrupted the conduct of Powercom's business. Eventually, Powercom exercised a claim for damages and a claim for the abolition of the use of the company's name. Let's take a look at this relevant provision of this case. Number 1. People are not allowed to use a name of store or company that can cause people to misunderstand that the company is someone else's company for unjust purpose. 2. If somebody breaks a number 1, the first user can claim the abolition of the company name. 3. The number 2 does not have an influence on a claim for damages. 4. If you use the same name with somebody's shop name in same local district, you're regarded to use the name for unjust purpose. In the case that since the business of the person who used the same or similar name of company later is bigger than first user's business, people misunderstood the first user as a person who wants to jump on consumers' credibility of the other company. It could be considered as a damage of reverse confusion. So the second user has legal credibility for damages. However, if there is no connection between both companies in terms of the kind of business, contents, a way of doing business, and consumers, or the first user's business is different from the others, people would not get confused. Therefore, the damage cannot be admitted. Case number 2. Since 1959, A had run his own bakery called Goryeo-dang in Masan City. On the other hand, there had been a bakery also called Goryeo-dang in Seoul since 1940s. The Seoul Goryeo-dang expanded their business. In 1990s, the number of their chain store was over 250, and sales reached a multi-billion won. B opened a chain store of the Seoul Goryeo-dang in 1991 in Masan City. He made the name of his store as a chain store of truthful Seoul Goryeo-dang since 1945 to make difference from A's store. However, A exercised a claim for damages and a claim for abolition of the use the company's name according to Article 23 of the Commercial Law. Main idea of verdict. If the reason why B named his shop as a chain store of truthful Seoul Goryeo-dang since 1945 is to show relationship between his shop and the corporation Goryeo-dang, the reputation and credibility of A's shop should be compared with the corporation Goryeo-dang in that we judge whether he had unjust purpose or not. Conclusion. The reason why I chose these cases is to let you know contradiction of law. Law is supposed to stand for the weak from the strong. But as you could see, in these two cases, law protected the strong from the weak because big companies are invested a huge amount of capital, or sometimes they are run by government. According to an article written by the owner of Powercom, he called to a director of the Korean Electronic Power Corporation, and the director said such a small company is trying to disturb the business that is pushed ahead by the government. I understand that in order to change the name of company, it will take a lot of time and money. But then, in my opinion, at least the claim for damages can be accepted for the small companies.